everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Old
Today
Millennial Show.
is
We're doing it.
January 11th. We're doing it.
We are back
We
at
are
it, man.
going to talk about relevant information that none of us actually knows a
the
whole
old
lot about.
millennials are live.
Gonna spew. Yeah, I got my notification. Look at that.
Hey, notifications working. That's a
Holy
good
shit.
thing.
Yep,
Yeah,
all right.
Yep.
yeah.
So who wants to introduce this story? The first story.
Well, I guess I will. This one is from the Wall Street Journal and France at that. 100 women in France are fed up with the Me Too movement, think it has gone too far. So, Mike, I believe you're the one who brought this to the table. What do you want to say about this right now?
When I first heard about this, the women who are in the movement, 100 women signed this petition, and they're saying that it kind of removes a man's ability to flirt with a woman, and it makes it like just that much more difficult for romance to actually happen. And you can see why this would be a petition that would come out of France. They were saying that like
What does that
they're
mean?
defending
The romance is
a
their
man's
life.
right to do things like to steal a kiss or to send a risque text message. That the idea of that without those sort of things, romance could potentially die.
Okay.
I'll agree with that. Two very, what is the word? Trepidously, very calmly, tediously. There are a lot of things that, yes, if we keep going down this path the way we have been, I could easily see a world where it could potentially be illegal or another way, a reprehensible action to see a girl at the bar, sit next to her and say, hey, can I buy you a drink? Where that could be an actionable offense at some point if we continue down this path that we are going on. And I definitely don't want to see that
greeting
happen.
a stranger and making
Right,
moves
we're
on
polite, like in any way attempting to get yourself towards romance in the real world. If that's going to be a problem, I agree with this 100%. We definitely need to take some action to stop us from going down this path any further.
I'm gonna agree with you as well. Without discrediting the entire Me Too movement, it's just this is kind of almost the way I feel about the way racism and race relations in this country is shaping up. Everyone's becoming so sensitive and quick to expose maybe not necessarily a true sexual assault, but I don't know, just a bad experience that got twisted around. So
right, like if I were to call someone like a teenager, it's like, well, you're black. Why do you have a problem with something that I said or did? There would see me use a potentially racist thing or a bad thing, and I'm not. I mean, everyone's a little bit racist. I'm not going to say I'm not racist, but I don't really care enough to like go out of my way to say deliberately offensive things. It's like, it's a descriptor. It's your skin is darker than mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
If anything, it's more racist to try to just like deny that race exists.
I'm pretty sure that was even a Family Guy skit. He's the one guy. He's got the really thick gold chain, right? Always wearing like a white shirt and like white pants. Like wears a Kangol hat. Like has those really big thick rim glasses. Short natty hair. And a white guy walks in with all those features. But like that's the point. It's like, yes, they're stereotypes, but they're not deliberately disparaging remarks. They're descriptors. They're ways we talk about things. And yes, there is a line somewhere, and I think if you have any like social conscience, where that line is. If the other person decides to be overly sensitive, that can't be my problem. I treat everyone with the same amount of respect out of the door, unless you give me a reason not to.
All right. Well, since we're going there, I mean, when does it stop becoming racist to put a black child in a monkey themed, outfit? At what point is that not racist?
If the kid wants to be, mom just lets them. Yeah, no, I don't know.
This was a thing that happened earlier this week, Kurt.
Yeah, okay.
I forget who it was.
Who it was? Well, this was H&M.
I mean, like the company.
Yeah. Let me bring it up to speed real quick, and I'll bring it up on the screen. So we're talking about this online advertisement that H&M had on their online store. What was that? Anyway, hold on. I have some audio going on here. Hold on. 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Audio from this Newsweek browser here. That was weird. All right. Anyway, so there was so basically everyone on Twitter was in an uproar this week because H&M published an ad of this hoodie. They have like a jungle and like safari themed hoodie series on H&M's website, and then one of the hoodies in particular, a little green hoodie, had the saying, "The coolest monkey in the jungle." Nothing seems so bad about that. With from face value.
Yeah, a fairly innocuous thing. If anything, I could see plenty of children like totally down to wear a shirt. And
like loving that. Yeah, like my mom always calls me a monkey, but on the bed, like that kind of like.
Yeah, but the problem is, apparently they put the black kid in that hoodie, and then and Twitter lost it. Here's a picture of it right here. Here's the black kid and the coolest monkey in the jungle. And what made it a little worse is the fact that they put the white kid in the shirt that says survival expert. This is from the same line, the same like jungle line or whatever. It says survival expert. Meanwhile, the black kid is the coolest monkey in the jungle. So you can see how people
I could understand
can take that and run with it some whole other way.
Black people Twitter just kind of jumped all over this. They were
black Twitter.
They were like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, you can't do this shit. You can't do this.
I understand, but
I'm
gonna go out and say
there isn't anything inherently wrong with this. Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not intentional.
I don't think it was.
I don't.
If anything, I think someone thinks there's
anything wrong.
I think if anything,
like this could have slipped under the radar. Like if Twitter wasn't a thing, this would have just happened, and like nobody would have gave a shit. But because Twitter and the social networks exist, there were a couple of people who saw this. They got outraged. Other people got outraged because they were outraged, and then they have to issue an apology and all this shit.
So H&M pretty much
like what would normally just be this innocuous shirt.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring up. I actually
like
made
I said,
a meme. I made a meme about this shirt. I'm actually gonna pull it up right now on the screen. See if you can see it.
Comes down to that.
Black people,
where
please explain.
And why to draw? Like you're drawing that line, like. There's gonna be people who are just going to get upset because they can. Those people are going to fucking be there no matter what it is or how or when. Like the social justice warriors of today, no matter what it is you did, they will find a way to tell you how you did it wrong and who you in fact are disparaging and making horrible remarks towards. Like there will always
this
be
one
people.
was kind of
no matter if it's
this one was kind of the fault of the social justice warriors. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the same way as if like, oh, well, you have a magazine and all these men are dressed in suits and the only picture of a woman is her dressed in a swimsuit. It's like, yeah, because that's what we find attractive. Women in swimsuits are attractive. Men in suits are attractive. Like, yes, it's different, but it's just our culture. It's not particularly disparaging towards women.
What kind of fashion catalog has suits and also swimsuits? Like, what is that?
You can.
Just saying. That sounds like
Jason
really
Penny,
weird.
Just saying. No, but like you
Jason
understand what I'm
Penny?
saying. It's not
Okay.
No, they definitely have all of those things. I mean, for sure. I
Just
mean,
in the
I've
same
gotten
catalog,
suits at
just like
JCPenney.
men in suits, men in suits, men in suits, women in swimsuits.
Yeah.
100%. Why not? No, but that's what I mean. It's just there's going to be someone who's going to find the way to make it into something it was never intended to be, whether it's oversight or not. Unless it was a malicious attack, why are you going to cause them so much trouble for it?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
you're making it out to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. This looks like a mistake to me, or just being unaware. It's also important to note that H&M is a Swedish company, you know, Swedish based. So they may not understand all of the racial dynamics, you know, in America, and also how sensitive people are about it in America.
Well, and also how involved the photographer who decided to put this kid in this shirt is related to H&M. You know, for all we know, he could be a third party.
That's true.
Right, yeah, just some guy they hired him for this job.
I
bet
kid
like nobody even thought about it.
chose to model that jacket. You know, it's not like they forced this kid into this thing. The kid was said, "Hey, we need someone to put this shirt on." He went, "Awesome! Now pretend to be a model and look sassy," and he did. He's got that sassy ass look on his face.
Such sass.
Like, well, the professional model. I'm not looking at you.
Yeah, no, I know. He's got blue steel going on right now.
Yeah,
and all of,
yeah.
I love that movie, man. Holy shit! I don't watch many movies, as you know, but I do like that movie, man. Holy shit!
Yeah, but this is like it's practically like a Murphy's Law of getting offended by things. Where it's just like if there is something that someone could take offense, like they will, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Especially if it's on the
so like I guess shame on H&M for not like tiptoeing through this fashion shoot, but like
and right, and how many other pictures came out for this season, right? How many different colors of every different article of clothing? How many thousands upon thousands of pictures that some asshole in HR would have had to have gone through every single one to be like, you know what? This one might be a little bit insulting. One shirt on a whole website that sells fucking shirts.
Yeah. And also, this kid it's not like they went and scouted the nearest black kid to wear the monkey shirt. This guy has been like
his
a model.
Agent, I can almost promise you, his agent
they
got him that
just
job.
threw that on him. They were like, "Here, take this, wear it."
He's did hundreds of shoots for H&M. He's all over the website, And also important to note, his mom did speak out. I think it was yesterday on social media. She said that she doesn't understand what everyone is so upset about. Everyone needs to relax. She's completely okay. With this.
Yeah. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. She's from the UK as well. She used the term "mum," which made it very clear.
Yeah. Listen, I'm his mum.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so I would expect them to be from around that area.
But yeah, like people the weekend, the weekend actually had like some type of deal with H&M, so of a product line. He canceled his deal with them, over this. The first day, he was like one of the first people to respond. He canceled.
I wonder how the weekend feels about that. If he still thinks it's a good idea or not.
He is doing what he feels is the popular, decision right now. He just
100%. This is a safe decision to make.
Yes, this is
no one's going to be like, The Weeknd, why'd you do that?
We might, but
yeah.
Right, yeah, but that's because we're assholes.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to a day, where we can truly, and you know what? And things are getting better. I always say racial relations are getting better in this country, but I'm looking forward to the day where we don't even need to think about race. And a black kid wearing anything monkey isn't necessarily racist, just because there is a monkey. Black people has played.
Well, honestly, you have to be racist.
In Planet
Look at that as a racist.
Yeah,
you have to be racist. Look at that and say
you have to be looking for it.
Monkey. Right, you'd have to be going out of your way. Either your brain is already thinking, "Hey, stupid monkey." Oh wait, the shirt says that. that's fucking racist.
Maybe people are already
Like, how else
conditioned
do
to something,
cross
you know?
shit?
Maybe people are already
Yeah.
conditioned to associate black people with monkeys, you know? Like you
I
know?
think right now is
Like-
there's this awareness of racism. So like this just let's just flag them like a bunch of people's race. And like they weren't necessarily looking for it, but like they already had their eyes open and they've seen a lot of it. So this was just like a neat thing to.
The media loves it, man. They love race stories, man. It's so
Yeah,
good
man.
for
I mean,
ratings,
because
man.
they're easy. Well, to be fair, it's the only fucking thing that can
It's
compete
easy,
with all the
yeah.
shit coming
It's
out of the
really
White House.
easy media.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some
Like
news
right
stories-
now, you can't. There's no time on the news right now. Like, you know what? Honestly, gone are the days of last Tuesday, Mrs. Gibraltar over in Gerald counties had 14 puppies and she gave them all away to the local school. Like that,
Aw.
long gone are those kinds of fucking news stories from our media. We don't even have time for that shit.
Yeah, you can't do
Like
news
between
story
all
that
of
anymore.
this social justice warrior bullshit and all of the Trump like spew that's coming out, like between all of it, the news has completely changed. It's all this super heavy morose stuff the whole fucking time. It's getting out of hand in all kinds of different ways. I think people really just need to chill the fuck out and realize that not everyone is out to hurt everybody else. Sometimes people just don't care. That's really
Yes.
what it comes down to.
Yes.
They just don't care.
Yeah. I forget who said it, but do not attribute malice to anything that could be reasonably explained by stupidity.
That's a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
quote,
100%.
man. That's a great quote.
100%.
Yeah.
Like that. Holy shit. All right, moving on, man. So here's the latest CNN article right here. This is the top, front page news right here. Trump decries immigrants from shithole countries. That's in quotes. Shithole countries coming to the U.S. Wow.
I mean, that sounds like something Trump would say.
To be
President.
fair, isn't this very similar to the Muslim ban idea? Like, oh, I don't like these countries. You can't come here. That's
Yeah, it's kind of right in that same
road
line.
it's going down.
It's pretty
Yeah.
close. It's a very politically incorrect way to just, say, hey, you know, we need to slow this down. I can agree with that. So it says under the article here, the president rejects the DACA plan and asks why we want people from Haiti and more Africans. Of course, they had to choose those countries. I'm sure he said a lot more than that. They specifically chose to put Haiti in Africa because, once again, this feels
I mean, to
that,
be
that
fair,
race.
a lot of the
I wonder if he
A lot
even
of-
like specifically named any countries,
well known.
or if he just said
he did.
shithole
There
countries.
were a lot of kind of random sounding countries in there.
Come
apparently,
on. Why did they put
I
Haiti in
think I'll
Africa?
touch on those too. He might just be angry.
Oh my god!
Like whoever wrote this article, I'm sure there's another listing of places in that article somewhere. Let's go through that there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through it a little bit, but let me ask you guys a general question. Do you guys feel like America should have just open borders for refugees, and political
Open? No.
prisoners? Yeah, 100%
No,
open
it
to
shouldn't-
people from a bad situation.
It shouldn't be like
if they're
100% open, but people that are in so dangerous of a situation that they feel like they need to leave their country and seek some sort of safe haven. I feel like we should at least like let them in for a little bit. It's the quote on the Statue of Liberty, where it's like, give me you're hungry, give me you're tired,
you're poor.
So I feel like those are very American values to let people in who need help and to help them. Maybe not permanent residency, but at least a helping hand.
Ooh.
To not just say, get out, you can't be here.
I want to bring it even.
Well, and again,
further.
it doesn't
Go ahead.
necessarily. All right, 100% open. Like there should be some kind of vetting process. It shouldn't literally just be, "Hey, you're in danger. Come with me," and you bring them into your house. That's not smart.
Right, because
It's not
that's
intelligent.
unstable.
Right. You want to find out, if not a past, what their motives for coming to the U.S. are. And there's, like I said, we have a fairly good system for that in place already for our refugees, where, it's like an 18-step, like multi-year verification process just to even get on the list of people who are allowed to come in. Never mind actually getting chosen out of that list to come to America. And I don't see why that is such a bad system. It's not like we're swarming with, there are a few states who have said we will openly welcome them, but it's not like we are up to our necks in random wartime people. It's still a country of predominantly Americans.
Yeah.
Yes, I hear you. Okay. Here's a similar question, man. What do you guys feel about birthright citizenship? Should anyone from any country be able to come to America and have a child here and become a American citizen, no matter how long they've been here?
The child is
the
an American
concept,
citizen.
Yeah,
Yes.
the concept of I am going to come to America specifically to have a child so that child will become a citizen so that I can become a citizen is a little fucked up.
Yeah,
They're exploiting this loophole to try to gain citizenship. That being said, we can't like prosecute these children because it's not like these children decided to come here. No one decides
what do you think
to
about
be
the idea
born.
of a child visa? What about a child visa, where you had a kid in the U.S. and you were going kicked out? You're allowed to stay until the child's 18. You're allowed to stay until the child is able to take care of themselves.
Maybe.
It's not like we're making them permanent residents in the United States. You're just giving them the opportunity for that American citizen to have their parents and be brought up like any other American citizen would be. And then when
we give temporary
time is up,
citazenship for like really long amounts of time anyway. That's a totally normal thing to actually like give somebody like 15 years or some shit of citizenship and just being like, okay, you're good for now.
You know what? I think this is a really crazy thing, man. And you know what? I agree with you guys, and I think that might be a good compromise, Kurt. I think that might be a good compromise. I kind of like that idea, of the baby visa. But this is the reason why I brought this story up, man. Mm-hmm. Apparently, not only is this happening, but people are like openly like promoting and advertising this type of thing. There are agencies that
it's been going on
promoting to
for
Russians.
a long time.
And not only that,
been welcoming.
But they're actually advertising Trump properties. They're like, "Hey, come live in the Trump Tower, and
just
have your baby here in the U.S. For this amount of money."
Literally just marketing 101. Like they're being smart about it. No, I understand what the issue is, and I don't like it. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't agree with the fact that these people are necessarily not a citizenship test, even though a citizenship test should be easier. I don't like the idea that they didn't have to go through a vetting process like everybody else who did just into the country. They are already here and long enough to have kids. They've been basically at least a year. I said them stay for a period of time, or again, even if there are other circumstances, like if there's a relative, like a grandparent or an uncle or a cousin who's willing to take the kid and child, then set back. But you know what? Put them in line. A couple other, pieces trying to get in the U.S. Maybe give them a little bit of a priority because they say in the United States. Like there are ways to deal with it. Are going to use this if you leave fucking holes like this. You need to close. Otherwise, it's going to continue to happen.
Is he breaking up to you, Purdy, or is it just me?
Yeah, he's breaking.
I think connection's a little bad. JP, anybody talks, it's all poppy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. I always have a bad connection to you. It's pretty weird, man. I got to figure that out somehow.
Well, it's funny. You sound fine to me, but it's super choppy to me.
Yeah, and also your video is like very smooth, 100% HD. It looks great, but just the audio, is coming in crazy. That's pretty weird. Right?
Yeah, I hear you fine, JP. Kurt comes in blippy.
Huh.
Well, that's probably what it is. Sending our signals to JP, and then it's got to come from him back to us, and all that hot jazz. Hopefully, we'll have a better computer in charge of this next week. That's all. We'll
am I coming through okay? Am I like blipping around?
No.
Like,
you're fine to me.
Okay.
On my end, I can barely hear you, but yeah. I can generally make out what you're saying. Plus, I'm reading your lips, so.
I don't know how I'm capable of doing that. That's crazy.
All right. Are you guys okay with at least, the minimum, Muslim ban, if you will, just certain countries, keeping them out, Iran, Afghanistan,
I think it's stupid and unnecessary. I think all this is, like, in its entirety, is to get people thinking about other shit that is not what's going on with all the drama. This is almost a non-issue. This is just sending look sensationalized to distract you. In my opinion, this is stupid. This is nothing. Even if it happens, it's going to get overturned. There's plenty of other people. Like, this is literally just spin to keep you distracted, in my opinion.
Really? Okay.
I'm not against the idea of banning immigration from some countries. It wouldn't be the first time that we've done something like that. I guess my only issues was that it seems that some of the countries that Trump chooses to keep people from coming in from, it doesn't really make sense. If he wants to try to prevent the people that are coming in and are becoming terrorists, then I can understand that. And if he could reasonably choose a few countries that are actually where the terrorists are coming from, then sure, we can block travel from those countries for a little while. Totally okay. He isn't doing that. He hasn't been doing that. He's just kind of been picking countries at random. Or it's kind of a personal agenda. It's kind of like these have people that I don't like the looks of, or who believe in things that I don't. So I'm not going to allow those people to come into America, because that's what my base wanted.
Well, and here's another thing. To your point, Mike, we don't have any evidence that terrorists have ever come out of these countries to the United States. More than 3/4 of the terrorist attacks that happen in the United from people who live in the United States. It's not like a random Palestinian comes to the United States for 6 months and then on his 6th month decides to blow something up. It doesn't happen.
I mean, if we're going to be real, the majority of mass shootings in the last few years have been committed by white people. White men. Yeah, 100%. So if anything, we should just ban all white people. We should ship out white people. That's what we should do. We should send white people to other countries.
A really interesting YouTube video that I saw the other day from this guy called Thunderfoot, and he put out a report that he did. He's a scientist, but he actually got some data about, he keeps on to popular shit and the YouTube trends and all that. And he put out a video on the actual charts, like the numerical data of who is killing who. In a direct kind of response almost to the Black Lives Matter movement.
Wow. Okay.
If you look at some of these numbers, these were based off of what happened. BuzzFeed released an article saying 37 things white people need to stop ruining in 2018. Followed the next day by 37 things black people need to stop ruining in 2018. So you brought up these charts, and if you look at you're talking about racism, general racism, there's clearly racism in Hollywood, you're right, because the Black Lives Matter is saying that, well, in Hollywood over 5% of the roles are white people, and 15% are only 15% are black, and 5% are Asian. But if you make those numbers,
ruining macaroni and cheese,
there's so much. It was kind of ridiculous. Like
Macaroni and fucking
in the black
Like
person
how?
one, it's like black people are ruining the internet.
I mean, that's true though.
It's
White people
really
are
ridiculous.
ruining mac and cheese. I did have a lot, a lot of bad mac
What?
and cheese from mainly from like mainstream. When I say white, I mean like some like mainstream institutions and shit like that may happen to be white. You know.
Oh yeah,
Like how?
Asian restaurants
Ruin
gonna have
cheese.
shit mac and
Protest. White people need to stop ruining protest.
Oh yeah, of course it was the fucking Pepsi thing.
yeah,
I don't know what K-pop is.
Korean pop music.
Korea.
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaker.
Yeah, it's a
culture.
thing. I was saying this
White
goes on. It's
people
really
are
ridiculous.
probably ruining sneaker culture, but at the same time, I think that sneaker culture is already like in ruins.
Yeah.
Like its state is ruined.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah. How you gentrify
But yeah.
trees?
But where I was getting at is that in relation to what we were talking to earlier, it was that more people, like, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement is saying that more, you know, what we need to fight is all these white cops killing black innocents.
Yes.
When if you look at the numbers, they're like the relationship. If you look at blacks killed by whites, that could be listed as 0.77% of all murders of blacks and whites in the U.S. Blacks killed by whites was 0.77%. Whites
Wow.
killed by blacks was 9.8%. Whites killed by whites, 10.5%. And blacks killed by blacks, 54%.
There you go. There you have it, folks.
Gang violence.
More
and stuff, I
black
guess.
people are killed by black people than white people ever could. What is Black Lives Matter movement fighting? They should be fighting the development of gangs, these urban areas that actually cause these kinds of things to happen. They shouldn't be fighting the fucking white people who are actually trying, maybe not the right way, maybe not well, but are trying to make those numbers better. They should be talking to the other black people who are killing black people.
I've been saying this for a very long time, man. You know, with you know, with not very good reception. You know, and it's just the reality, man. It's
It'd be your own people's.
and be my own people's, man. And the thing
Well,
is,
and that's
no
the same
one-
thing, right? More whites are killed by whites, just as, you know, more blacks are killed by blacks. And, like, if you want to get them better, we can go into the female versus males, you know? Like, females versus males is ridiculous when you look at the numbers. Because, like, more men are killed by men, and more men are killed by, like, women don't kill anybody in comparison to men. Men are the only ones who actually commit these murders, basically.
Yeah, we're
You look at
crazy
these charts, it's
motherfuckers.
pretty
Watch out for the
fucking
men.
ridiculous.
Oh,
It's something about having
Like-
a dick makes you just want to murder everyone.
pretty much.
Like, okay, you look at white
lot of
murderers.
pressure.
White murderers kill about 70% female. Like, right? If you took all the white murderers in the world, and if you looked at their victims, like 70% of them are men. And for black people, 70% of them are men. But then you look at how many, like, what females have killed males. Male murderers kill 75% men. Right, of course. Female murderers also kill 75% men.
Well, that's interesting. We
Yeah.
really need more female murderers, though. Like, I feel like I've represented well enough in the murder field.
Yeah, no, they're a very small amount of the field.
Yeah.
like
Equal,
like
right?
women,
So-
ladies, get on that. You need to murder
Step your
more.
game up. You want to be equal? Step your game up.
You're underrepresented
So-
in the serial murderer community.
To be fair, if you look at it from that angle, the females in that, you know, in that data set are the ones who are behaving, you know, badly towards men, much more so than men are towards women.
Wow. Shots
where
on
a
you.
male is right like 1.5 times more likely to kill a guy, and so is a girl. So 1.5 times more likely to kill a guy.
I mean, like the statistics are interesting here, but at the same time, it's just looking at murders, which I feel like probably skews it a lot. You know, because there's a lot of crime or physical violence that isn't murder.
Yes.
And
Well,
like
but
that'd be
here's-
interesting information to have too.
But here's what gets really funny is that while 75% of black people killed are from, black people, they they are actually like the percent of the population, right? They're 15% of the population, whereas whites are like around 75% of the population, 75% of the population. The murder numbers for white people are the same across those. But for black people, like they kill like 2,000, like it's the same number of white people who kill white people and black people who kill black people. Those numbers are the same. 2,500 are killed on either side. Both white and black people are killed. But 75% of those black people who were killed were killed by black people.
Sample. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
No, right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's they're 15% of the population, but they have so many more murders.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
We got some
Like,
cultural issues to work out, man, for sure. No one wants to talk about that though.
That's what I mean. I feel like there needs to be a ground where someone can step in and say, "Listen, I just don't care. We just need to fucking stop this shit from happening in general. I don't care if it's whites killing blacks killing. Look at who's killing who and focus on that. Don't focus on, well, I'm angry at this group of people."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I could literally be shouting this into the void for all it mattered. I'm a white guy, you know. I mean,
you're definitely racist if you say this, man.
Yeah, 100%. I am.
Word,
100%.
100%.
I am, as everyone would. Look
I mean,
at me
I think
say,
even
I'm that
a
white
black guy
person
could
who
say
grew
this,
up.
and he'd be called racist.
Yeah,
I really think so.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly that. It's almost like people would be like shouting that you're trying to make black people white, or that you're trying to
and that's the thing.
get rid
Everything
of
I've done is
your heritage and race.
regurgitate data. No, all I did was regurgitate data. That's what it is. It's scientifically
Well,
available from the FBI.
Yeah, but like
statistics.
if you want to get a point across, data is usually the worst way to do it. Isn't that the saddest thing? Isn't that the saddest thing in the world?
People don't respect data.
I mean,
like,
I suppose most people don't think that way, but yeah.
Well, everybody, literally everybody doesn't think that way. If you hear something that contradicts the idea that you have in your head of reality, it doesn't matter how much information can back that statement up. It doesn't matter at all. You're going to immediately say, that doesn't gel with my idea of reality, and thus it can't be true, and you're an asshole. And from that point forward, anything else that they say supporting that point, it doesn't matter, because I don't care, you're an asshole.
Wow.
The only real way to ever get anyone to listen is to like make an appeal to like emotions, to try and like relate things with stories and emotions, and just like to get to like what you share in common with the other person, not being, look at this data, it shows this point. Why can't you see this?
Yeah.
And I understand that,
Go ahead.
What's up? No, go ahead.
No, I was saying he's correct, man. No one wants to listen to the other side, man, and it's so easy to just follow your own narrative and look for your own facts that support your own alternative facts that support your worldview. You know what I'm saying?
Your own alternative facts.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to be objective, in this 21st century,
As much as I hate the term alternative facts, I'm starting to come around to it. because you can have like multiple sets of facts that are all true, just like they
Well, and how you interpret
if you
that data.
pick a few and say these are the facts that I want to believe, and screw all these other facts. And I think that that's a thing that's happening a lot.
Like, look at right, this way back. Like, look at the marijuana studies that were done in the 60s and 70s, where they pumped gas masks on monkeys full of marijuana smoke to the point where they suffocated to death. And to this day, we still have people pointing at those studies saying, "Look, it causes brain damage." Well, no fucking shit.
Right? Yeah.
You fucking suffocated.
No
but you will
shit.
still
if you
hear
fucking
people to this
suffocate
day.
someone, like you're going to cause brain damage, right? Or like any of those studies the one study that showed that vaccines might cause autism, and it was a terrible study that was done, so bad, and it's just like, oh, but there was one study,
and had like the sample size
so
of 6.
it's got to be true. Even though there's a million other studies that say the vaccines don't cause autism, there was one study that did. And so, that's got to be the truth.
It's like a selective truth. It's almost like almost like what you do with a girl sometimes. This is what I do with females sometimes. I don't lie, but I just omit certain things, certain truths. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, half-truths.
Oh, yeah.
Half-truths.
That's manipulation at its finest.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, to be fair, it also goes to to the social media thing, right? Where like if you have a certain viewpoint and you ever state it in any way, shape, or form, in any way publicly, the internet now knows that that's your viewpoint and will continue to show you only things that gel with your viewpoint on purpose, because they want to show you would be interested in. But all it does is create this terrible echo chamber where the only feedback you get from your ideas is from people who agree with you. You're not going to get the other side of the argument that you need to make an informed opinion.
That makes sense.
Yeah, these echo chambers are getting dangerous.
I'm going to
Facebook is the worst. The worst.
All right, guys.
It's a little sad that like so many people are using like Facebook and other social medias as their primary news source.
That's terrible.
When like people used to say things like you can't believe everything that you read in the paper, but now it's just like, oh, it's on Facebook though, it's got to be true.
It's a double-edged sword too, because social media is like the first nowadays. Like when you find out about things, social media is the first thing, the first area, the first source that you hear about it from. A terrorist attack or celebrity
issue. It pops up right there.
Yeah. So people, they use it for that, but at the same time, it's very unreliable in and of itself. You always have to double check, on your own.
Yeah,
always independent check.
We all need to be like a little bit more skeptical, a little bit on our guard when it comes to digesting information in this age.
Yes, hell the fuck.
We need to like look at it. We need to say, does this make sense? We need to say, where is this person getting their information from?
Well, and that's right, and we always assume it's true.
Don't do that.
There are plenty of people who not only don't research things, but intentionally make up things. Like the whole entire thing. Like there was a guy during the campaign who made an entire site for news articles, and he would post them and get them spreading on Facebook about, all these terrible things that Hillary did that literally never even happened. They weren't even like actual things. No one actually ever reported on them or cared about them. But people who didn't like her saw those posts, and it changed their opinion. It doesn't matter if people clicked on it, doesn't matter if people read it. They saw that these articles were out there and allowed them to make a stronger, more wrong point. There was no fact checking. There was no verification. It was literally just, well, there's a news article about it, so clearly whatever this person said had to have happened. And
we got to do better.
It's just so dangerous that anybody, I could do that kind of thing if I fucking bothered to. It's just sad. It's, that's the state of affairs that we live in.
Word.
The purr.
Okay.
All right. I think we touched about every subject, man. I think I got to wrap it up. Was there anything else, Purdy?
No, I think that was it. Everybody stay woke. Keep it tight.
Stay
Thank
You
you
know,
very much
we've all
for
gotta be-
joining us on
we've all got to
Your
be
Millennial
good millennials.
Podcast.
Do we? Okay.
Well, if we want to make any changes
Whatever
for
a
the
good
good,
millennial
we have
is.
to at least try.
Jesus.
Yeah, word. Be the change you want to see, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Act
All
like
right.
the person you want to have around.
I
All right,
like
everybody.
that.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you very much. We are live Tuesdays and Thursdays every week. Thank
Sometimes, hopefully.
you. All
All
right.
right, good night.
Good night.